Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be a 1500 point game of my Orks with a K up against some Necrons. So, my brother was nice enough to play the fantasy game with me, so least I could do is do 40k back with him. And here we go. I mean, just like how I have a whole bunch of Orks for fantasy, I have a ton of Orks for 40k as well. We're talking like 10,000 points, you know? And the thing is that very, very little of it is painted. Where I'd say about 80% of my fantasy Orks are painted, I'm probably looking at 5% of my 40k Orks are painted. It's just the way it is, you know. I've only painted what I needed for a tournament one time, and then otherwise that's it. And I mean, one of the funny things coming into this is I play so little 40k now. I mean, we're kind of setting up for a game. I was like, oh man, don't my things have hull points now? Geez, how many hull points does a killer can have? I don't know. It's one of these things where, you know, I know all my stats. It's just for all the new rules, I'm still a little bit sketchy on it, but I'm sure I'll be fine. Alright, so the game we got was a relic. I think I've gotten that mission every single time I've played this new edition. And we got the one that's basically the battle for the pass, so the one where you're deploying on the short board edge. 1,500 points aside, and what I got going on mine is that my one war boss, or warlord rather, that's on the right side, he's a big mech that has a custom force field and a power claw. I have another HQ, which is another big mech with a force field, a custom force field, but no power claw on him. Then I have 2 units of 30 shooter boys with 3 big shooters and a knob with a claw. I got 2 Def Dreads that are troops, because of the way that this works, where I took the big mechs, they're just all set up with all the close combat weapons. And then I got 9 killer cans, 6 of them with the rockets, 3 of them with the big shooters, and then the only other thing in this list is my 15 Ludas. So you can see that they're all deployed here. Up on the other side is my brother with his Necrons. This is an army that he's really just getting into. You know, he has his Imperial Guard and all this stuff that's already fully painted, but he's just starting to get into his Necrons here now. So from left to right from his stuff, you can see he has a good sized unit of Scarabs. Then he has some warriors. In front of them are some Immortals. Then he has some more warriors, and then some more Immortals. The ones on the right are the ones with Tesla coils, and the ones on the left are the ones with their, you know, the heavy Gauss, or whatever they're called. Then he has 2 of those gun platforms that shoot you. He got one of those little Trioc stalker walker things. He's going to have one of his flyers coming in later, and then his HQ is actually going to be this special character that's allowed to take away my special rules and give ones to him. So should be pretty interesting. Only thing I think I really got going for myself here is that in the relic type mission, you have to be very aggressive, get up there, and so even though his Gauss weapons will be great for taking down my armor, I'm just going to throw that stuff up there, see which flank is going strongest, and then that side, that shooter boy unit will take the relic, and really the plan is just then to hold him up while I hold the relic, but we'll see how that works. And maybe I should play 40k more, because first thing I do, I steal initiative, so I get first turn. Now, unfortunately, stealing the initiative in this case wasn't that big of a deal, because he was able to make it night fight. You know, for the most part, my units are just running up. It was kind of sad because a lot of my units just rolled a 1 or a 2 for how far they could run, or they're trapped behind the units that did roll a 1 or a 2. But at least I got to shoot with my Ludas, and they killed a couple of Immortals on the right, but that's pretty much it. So his turn then, and really he's not really moving up very much. I mean, he has the Scarabs on the left, which he moves up to be in a counterattack position, and then he just starts laying into me with Gauss. And so he destroys one of my Def Dreads, the one on the right. I mean, I don't have any markers or anything for these, so when they're destroyed, I'm just going to turn them around. So he destroyed the one, getting himself first blood. He also destroyed one of the other killer cans, and so that's really going to be a pain on the right side to try and move up. But whatever, you know, it's not too bad, I guess. So my turn too, it's really just another turn of pushing up, but at least this turn I get to do a little bit more shooting. I did have 2 failed charges. I had the killer cans on the right that were supposed to go up and charge his Immortals with the Tesla coils. Luckily I didn't take anything from the stand and shoot, but unfortunately I failed that charge. I also had the killer cans on the left that wanted to charge his scarabs. I know, he eats armor and all this stuff, but I just wanted to hold them up. I failed that charge as well, and then really I just kind of dropped a few more immortals from others shooting. And I mean, as you can see, the relic is just on the other side of this red building, so next turn I'll be in a perfect spot to take it. Unless he really pushes up, I'll have an easy time holding it. His turn then is turn 2. He gets his flyer to come in, and it's going to be picking on my Ludas, but I'm pretty sure, if he wants to have a shooting fight with my Ludas, that's fine. At some point I'll get to shoot back when he's out in the open, and he'll go down, or maybe even not, right? The big thing with flyers, from what I know in my limited experience, is that they can't hold or contest objectives, so, unless they're really digging into my plans, I'll just be shooting something else, like Immortals, that are more of an issue. And then he also surprises me here, because his scarabs come in here for a big charge. They're actually coming in after 2 units of my killer cans, which I thought was pretty bold, because not only does he lose his +1 attack for when he charges, but also I'll have a lot of those double strength attacks killing off his bases. So I think this is actually going to go very well for me. So after his turn, it looks like this. He's killed a few more killer cans. I basically have no killer cans left on the right. On the left side, he killed 2 of them, and I killed tons of his scarabs. There's only a couple left now. He did his best to try and kill my Death Dread on the left side, but I'm left with 1 hull point. I was doing pretty lucky here from making my cover saves, basically, from my custom force fields. And now I should be in a really good spot where I can be, being a big trouble to him. All I have to really decide is on the right side, whether to charge his spider or his immortals or both. So my turn 3, that's what I do. They go in and they charge the immortals and the stalker. I didn't lose too much from the going in. I also did some damage to it otherwise because I used my Ludas on it because, that one flyer. I just want to make sure I wasn't going to be held up too badly with it, and I brought down to 1 hull point, which my Power Claw easily took off, and now I'm kind of tied up there with the Immortals. In the combat, I was able to kill off the rest of his Scarab, so that's all there, and before that unit went up, my Warlord had joined the left unit, and you can see there that I'm actually holding the relic now, and the one that's actually holding it, because I guess it's based off the model, is the red one. So his turn 3, and this was kind of crazy on both sides. First of all, he's coming up and he gave his Necron warriors Furious Charge, and he went in there with his special character, and man, I rolled really well, making him take a lot of saves. I actually won this combat, and so that could have been really crazy had it gone, if it had gone to how it should have been, I'd have been in big trouble. But man, if he would have failed this test, this game just would have been over. But otherwise, the thing you can also see here is that because of how in this edition you take the losses from where it's coming from, he came over here and was basically able to surgically cut away and kill the units around the relic. So now I'm not holding the relic anymore. I'll have to take it again, and he also killed my Warlord. The funny thing there is, I get my Lookout Sir rolls basically, and out of 5 that I had to roll for, I failed 3 of them. I got 3 1s out of 5 dice. So just the way it goes, but still I can easily take it again, and it doesn't look too bad as long as my other Orc unit can hold up. My turn 4 then, I then just really move up into the objective. It's now being held by my big mech. I have enough guys around me that I should be safe. My Ludas shoot down the flyer. We keep on grinding away in the combat there, and I got that killer can holding up the Immortals for the whole game pretty much. His turn 4, he does his best to try and peel me away from that relic again, but I still am able to hold it. And then in the combat, we're just grinding away. It does look like I'm going to be losing this eventually, but at least, they're doing their job just to hold things up. My turn 5, I first feel good because I basically move back the big mech with the relic and then have everything else in front so that, I can't have to worry about him killing just that guy unless he kills everybody. However, then things kind of fell apart where my unit then lost and broke. So now he has 2 units that are there, well 3 units, because he has a few Immortals in there still, and so I'll be taking a lot of shots, but again, if I can just hold out a little bit longer, then I'll win because I have the relic. And soon I can hide on the other side of the building too. So his turn 5, he throws everything into my unit, slaughters just pretty much everything that's there, and in the end, I gotta take 3 saves of my big boss, and I make 2 of them. So I'm sitting on 1 wound left, and as long as the game ends now, I got this in the bag. But the game doesn't end, so I gotta keep going, and so really all I can do is my mech goes on the other side of the wall so that he can only really shoot me maybe with the flyers, and that's really all he's gonna have. And that's what he's able to do. There's really only 1 flyer that can actually do it. He needs to do it through snap fire, gets the 6. Of course, a 6 actually means 3 hits, and then boom, 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 I'm dead, and that's the game. So victory to the Necrons, and I mean it was a pretty alright game. I mean as far as a system that I've kind of lost interest in, you know, there's still nothing wrong with 40k. I mean if my brother comes over or for some other reason, you know, I'll play the game. I have no problem with it. I still just prefer Fantasy and War Machine. But, you know, I think the game was a lot of fun. Obviously, I could have won it had it gone my, you know, the rolls gone a little bit better, or if I'd have known the rules better, so I had more guys holding the relics, so I wouldn't have lost another turn. But, you know, it was pretty neat. And, I mean, the thing I'm sure I'm going to hear is that my stuff's not painted, but, man, I'm going to be painting my Fantasy and War Machine stuff first. So there you go, and who knows, it'll probably be another couple of months before I get another game in, but since I'm actually running a 40k tournament this year, it might help if I actually know how it actually runs a little bit more. So there you go, thanks for watching, and you know, if you're a 40k fan and you want to see more, let me know, because right now I'm pretty sure that I mainly have only Fantasy viewers, but hey, let me know if you're out there. Okay, bye.